Hi guys, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of my Backlist Readathon vlog. So I started this morning with ready to go, full of energy for this readathon because as you can see I've got a lot of books and like almost 300 of them are unread. So I'm so excited for this readathon. So the first one I picked up was The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. And I am about halfway through and I am really liking it so far. It's very interesting. I went in not knowing anything about it. There's nothing on the back, and so I really like that. And I went in completely blind. I've tried to kind of avoid spoilers about this book, but it's about a woman who's engaged to a man and then the man's ex-wife. It's told from the two women's perspective, and the ex is kind of creepy. She's kind of stalking the new wife, and I'm just really interested to find out what's going on. So I'm going to probably not say a whole lot about this just because I think going into thrillers blind is the best way to go. So that's what I'm reading now. This morning, my daughter, she's a little girl after my own heart because she woke up about 8 o'clock. And so I went in there and she just wanted to read books. And so she's got a stack on her nightstand that is probably 15, 20 books deep, and we read every single one of them. So we sat there and read for over an hour, and then we finally got up, did breakfast, did all that, and now we've just been organizing and still unpacking the few boxes that are here and there, and we have like an extra room here that we didn't have at the other house, so trying to figure out what goes where, and it's just been a busy day. So my mom is over here now because they just got home from a long vacation last night. So she's over here. She's downstairs with my daughter because I do have one more bookshelf to fill that is my middle grade shelf. And every time I try to do it, it just ends up books are everywhere because my daughter takes some and runs with them. And it's just really hard to organize books with her. So I'm doing that really quick. And then we're going to meet my dad and go for lunch. Today, I will flip the camera around because it is rainy and gloomy, and if you've seen my past vlogs, we had a beautiful weekend of like 60 and 70 degree weather, lots of park time, and today is just gray and cold and rainy. So we won't be doing any of that today, but that's okay because my daughter has a little cold, so it's probably better that we stay inside and just kind of have a chill day. So here's the view from my window right now. It's just bleh, yucky. So not going to be going outside today. So the plans for the rest of the day are lunch and then come back here and just kind of take it easy and unpack and keep organizing, hopefully. My daughter loves to read so much that she's getting where she wants to turn all the pages. She wants to do as much as she can. And so I'm going to see if maybe between the time between lunch and nap, if she'll read and like I can read next to her. I don't know if that will work. I've tried that a time or two and it doesn't really work. It ends up with her like laying on me and wanting to read my book, and it just doesn't really work out. And so we'll try it though. We'll see. Maybe today's the day that it'll work. So that's the plan, and I will get on. I'm hoping to finish this book today. I would like to do a book a day, and it's only like 350 pages, 343 I believe, so it should be doable. During nap time I'm probably gonna nap actually because I'm a little tired, so hopefully I can't ever nap, but when I say I'm gonna nap I mean I'm gonna lay down and not like do anything productive. So that's the plan. We'll talk to you later. Hi guys, it's about 5:30 on Monday, and I was just going to come on and let you know that I finished The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, and I'm going to give it 3 stars. I thought it is very twisty, very confusing. Like the main narrator is pretty unreliable. You don't really know what's true, what's going on, how many people are involved, who's who, what's what, and it was interesting and twisty in a good way, in a confusing way, but like I knew what was supposed to be, I knew I was supposed to be confused. It wasn't confusing like it made me feel stupid. It was like it was confusing, like it was just twisty. And so then you get to the end and the big reveal was like, what? Like that's it, and it was something like pretty simple that you could see coming from the beginning, and I just was really like, for as twisty and confusing as it was throughout, I expected something kind of like epic. And the twist was like, okay, So for me, it was just pretty unimpressive. 3 stars. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this book, but I would read more by this author duo. So I've heard mixed reviews about this book, and I'm just kind of middle of the road. I thought there were also some pacing issues where sometimes it was like so fast, like you had to really be in it to know, like to pay attention to what was going on because there was stuff everywhere. And then other times, like around the middle and 2/3, it was like just Vanessa talking and talking and talking, and it was like boring and slow. So overall, like, I'm just not very impressed. And if you like, once you know everything that happened, because it's told in 3 parts, and in the 3rd part it really kind of lays out everything that's going on. And so once you know the whole story, it's like really a basic story. So I'm not going to say any more than that because it's a thriller and I think it's good to go in blind, but I just was not super impressed. So next, I'm going to pick up Homegoing by Yagasi, and that's because it's the one that intimidates me, and I just am like I can see myself put it off over and over and over and over, and like I have been for however many years it's been on my shelf, so I'm going to go ahead and just bite the bullet and do it. It's told in like people sections, and so I've been told it's almost like short stories that are just related because it's by lineage, and so I'm going to try to read at least people sections in chunks to hopefully make it pass quicker that way. I may also start an audiobook just to have something a little different to break it up. And as you guys know, I'm a completionist. So like in my head, I'm like, I can't even DNF it, especially because this is a readathon. It's my diverse. It's my intimidating. I can't DNF it because that's not good. So I'm going to get started on that tonight, but for now, it's about, like I said, 5:30, so I'm going to get up and go make dinner, and then we'll get to reading after dinner, so we'll talk to you later. Bye. So many words on that page. Okay, guys, so in the last clip, I said I would not DNF Homegoing by Yagasi. I think I'm going to. So I've been sitting down here on our couch reading it, and I just cannot get into it. And I know, like, I looked on Goodreads, and this has got a 4.46 ratings. So many people give it 5 stars. I know it's probably a very wonderful book. I just, between the fact that it's historical fiction, which I'm not in love with, short stories, I'm not in love with. The text is also pretty small margins, lots of words on the page. Of course, that page doesn't look like it because it's got a lot of breaks, but I think I'm not going to spend the time reading it right now. It's just not an interest of mine. So that I'm going to let go, DNF. So I will come up with something else for diverse. But my husband and I are sitting here having a conversation. Did I fail the task of intimidating, or is the fact that I gave it a try mean I did it? I mean, it's going to be off my shelves, which is the goal. So I haven't had it on my shelves for who knows how long. Haven't picked it up, haven't given it a shot. So I did that. So maybe I accomplished that goal, but yeah, it's going to be DNF'd at least for now, probably for good. I'll probably unhaul it. And again, I know I'm probably missing out on something good, and a lot of you are probably screaming at me, but it's just the writing style and the content. I just don't think it's for me. So I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up next. I think I might do either Braving the Wilderness or the Colleen Hoover one. I'm really excited for both, and those are both the other 2 on my set TBR. So I'll pick up one of those tonight. I'm not sure which, but I will update and let you know in the morning. Hey guys, so it's still Monday, and I just am in my library room looking for things to fill the challenges that Homegoing just was supposed to fill. And so I picked Quentin's by Maeve Binchy. This one is one that has intimidated me because, one, it's huge. Her books are always big, and her books also have quite a few characters, and so they're sometimes confusing and sometimes just not the best. I'm gonna go ahead and read this one as the one that's intimidating me because it is. I've had some real hits and some real misses with Maeve Binchy, but this one follows a restaurant, and I guess she's trying to kind of film a documentary that captures the spirit of Dublin from the 1970s to today, all through this restaurant. And this follows, I think, just the restaurant from Scarlet Feather, which is one of her other books. I'm not sure if it's the characters or the restaurant, but I really liked Scarlet Feather. That was one I did like. So I'm hoping I'm going to like this. We'll see. It is like 440 pages or something like that. So this one's intimidating. Probably not a great read for a readathon because it's slow. I mean, her writing style is very character focused, so it's slower, not a whole lot going on. It's also 440 pages, and it's potential miss. So maybe a dumb thing, but I'm going to go ahead and pick that up first just to get that off my shelf and get that one off my mind. And then I'm not sure what I'll pick for diverse, but I will look into that and let you know when I pick. Hey guys, so it's Tuesday, March 10th, and it's about 10:30, and I was just going to get on an update. Let's see, last night, I am still feeling pretty bad about DNFing Homegoing, because I know it's a good book, and I know that I'm probably missing out. It's just the mood I'm in right now, that writing style and stuff is just, and that subject matter, I just feel very shallow DNFing it, but I just couldn't get into it, and I can feel it making me slumpy, so I'm sticking by the DNF. So I got about 100 pages into Quentin's by Maeve Binchy, and it's good. The whole documentary on the restaurant thing just started at like page 100. So this is very Maeve Binchy-esque, kind of taking a long time to get into the meat of the story and kind of circling around it before she gets in. And so I'm not sure where it's going to go, but so far it's following this one woman and her life, and then now it's going back to whoever started Quentin's, which is the name of the restaurant, and I think, and so and you get little glimpses of people from other Maeve Binchy books. Like I said, the people from Scarlet Feather, they were a catering company, and I don't know if they're a restaurant now or if somehow that's related to Quentin's or if it's just a different one. I don't know. But then we also get, I think, some glimpses of the people from Terror Road. I can't remember, though. It's been a while since I've read those other books. So this can be read as a standalone completely. We're just getting little Easter eggs from other people, and I like when authors do that. So, again, I'm not quite sure what the story is going to be like about. It's 100 pages in, and we're just getting around to the documentary. So I don't know that that's going to be like the main focus, but maybe it is. I don't know. So my daughter and I just did a prenatal Pilates class on YouTube, and now we're going to go to Target and to Marshall's to return a couple things. Thank you, baby. And then to the grocery store, and then to lunch probably with my husband, and that's really all we've got planned for today. It's another rainy, gloomy, yucky, cold day, so that's a bummer. And we have planned, this weekend is our town has like a St. Patrick's Day parade, and then a 10K and a 2-mile fun run, and we're gonna do that, but now the forecast is like 40 degrees with rain, so we intentionally did not register just in case the weather was bad, and I don't know if we'll do it or not if that's the case, because 40 degrees as a high means at like 9 or 10 in the morning when it all starts, it's going to be like freezing, literally. So, yeah, today I would like to get the rest of that Quentin's done, but I don't know if I will because it's almost 500 pages. It's like 450, I think, and so that means I still have 350 pages left. I'm having to edit out a million yawns. It's just, I think it's the weather, because normally I wake up like 4 or 5 times in the night to go to the bathroom. Thank you, pregnancy. And last night I think I woke up like once or twice. And so like my alarm went off this morning. I was like, wait, I haven't gotten up nearly enough for it to be morning. And so I think I slept pretty hard and good. And I had a half-calf coffee this morning. So I shouldn't really be tired, but I am. So we're going to go run all those errands and then get to reading some more. So that's the plan. We'll check in later. Hey guys, this clip is going to be one that's more for me than you guys because I don't think anyone will really care, but I just put my daughter down for a nap and she's laying there with her eyes shut and she's saying, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And she's 2 years old, and so it's just in her little toddlerese singing Mickey Mouse Clubhouse to herself, like singing herself to sleep, and it was just so cute. So she's asleep. It's about 2:30, so I'm hoping I have like at least an hour and a half, hopefully, to read. I've got Quentin's right here, and I'm in my room, and I've already unloaded my boxes and organized my things for the day, and so I'm just gonna dig into this and hopefully get some good reading done, because this one is my intimidating book, and I'm only that far through. So I hope I can finish it today or tomorrow, so this doesn't get me super slumpy, because I'm really excited for everything that is still on my TBR. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to listen to the Harry Potter. There's a 7-hour Harry Potter ambiance or something, ASMR room on YouTube. And I'm not going to lie, I've listened to it all the way through once. Not in one sitting, but like in an hour chunk here, an hour chunk there. I've already done the whole thing, and I really like it because it switches scenery every 20 or 30 minutes, maybe even more frequently than that, I don't know. And so it's just really good and scenic, and I love it. And so I'm gonna turn that on, read my book, and check in later. Hey guys, it's like 5 o'clock and we're down in the basement playing, and I'm reading my book a little bit. And does it ever happen to you guys where you get, like, I just read a paragraph that gave me the worst deja vu. And like, I double checked on Goodreads. I have not already read this book, but I swear, like, this was the weirdest deja vu. But nothing I have read has been similar to this, so I don't think I've read this paragraph anywhere. But like, very weird. Does that ever happen to anybody else or just me? Because that's happened occasionally in books, and otherwise I'm like, did I read this? But I know I didn't, so I don't know, very weird. But I'm on page 209 out of 450 or whatever it is, so I'm about halfway done, and I need to go upstairs and make dinner, but down here is the playroom, and my husband's not home yet, and so I don't know how I'm going to coax us upstairs without screaming and stuff, and I'm just not up for that battle yet, especially when I still am in the middle of a chapter. So I'm going to finish the chapter, and then I'm going to pick the battle. And if you can hear, my brother is outside. There's going to be no way to see that. He built our fancy fence. Kind of see it, huh? And now he's building stairs off the deck so our dog can get down, up and down. So he's doing that. My husband's going to be home shortly. I'm going to make dinner. And then, so I had this conversation with Nicole from the Girly Girl Bookworm about kids on social media, and just how it's a really fine line when you are a parent. Like, how much do you put of your kids? How much do you hold back? And for my husband and I, we have chosen to leave our kids off of social media, just for the sense of, we think, like, what if our parents would have had social media when we were kids? How embarrassing that would be, and just not to do that to our kids, but more just a personal privacy thing. We both have like a very large number of random friends on social media that like are social media friends, if that makes any sense, or people we knew in high school or middle school or something that we don't, I mean, we have a lot of friends, and so putting our kids out there is just not something we have chosen to do. Not that we think it's right or wrong, just for our personal management of privacy, that's what we have chosen to do. That being said, that there's a lot of things that then we miss out on, like getting to share easily with family and friends. We don't get to do that quite the same. We either have to have an email chain, which I'm terrible at keeping up, or a iCloud, but we're a family divided between Apple and Samsung, and so that can't happen. There's Google Photos. There's just all these extra complications to sharing photos that if you don't do social media. And also, for my own memories, like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, the pop-up things of like 5 years ago, obviously that'll never include our kids. And so I have to be a little extra diligent about making sure we have good photo albums, so we don't take these pictures and then they get lost and never show up anywhere. So I have a jump drive that is by month of kids and pregnancies and that kind of stuff. And with moving, that jump drive was in a box, and so I just got it, so I need to upload all of February's pictures and get those organized. So I think I'm going to do that this evening, as well as hopefully read more of this book. But because I'm doing that project, I probably won't finish this book tonight. Maybe, but maybe not. And I also just have a bunch of other random stuff to do because today we were kind of out of the house a lot. So that's the plan for the rest of the evening. Let me know what your thoughts are on kids on social media. I don't have anything against it. I don't think that people who put their kids on social media are wrong. I just, like I said, for my personal anxiety, having people know her name and that kind of stuff just freaks me out because, it just does, because I'm an anxious, like, worrywart about everything, and so I'm paranoid, and like I said, I would have to go through and like weed out a ton of friends to actually make it just people who like I actually want to know about my kids. And so instead of doing that, I've just chosen not to put her on social media. My husband's not a social media guy anyway, so it was an easy choice for him. I don't know. So let me know what your thoughts are or what you have done, or, you know, if you wait until your kids are older and they can have a say about if they want to be on social media or not. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. So that's it. I'm going to go read, and finish this chapter and then go upstairs, make dinner, do the picture thing, and be on with my night. So we'll talk to you later. Hey guys, it's 11 o'clock on Wednesday, and I was just going to get on and let you know that I finally finished Quentin's by Maeve Binchy this morning, and I'm going to give it 3 stars. I thought this book was just kind of a slog to get through, and I think it's totally my mental block about it, the fact that it was intimidating, and just mentally, like, I kind of had this block up against it. And this readathon, that challenge, I don't know, like, this, it was tricky. I don't know if doing it first was a good idea or if I should have waited for the intimidating, the most intimidating to the end, but it's just kind of made me slumpy. So I finished it 3 stars. I think that it was very typical Maeve Binchy. It was about this documentary about Quentin's, the restaurant, but it was really more about this main girl named Ella. And her, I mean, she goes to the restaurant with her parents, and her friends kind of decide to do this documentary, but it's about the people who run Quentin's, but also about her and her life. And there's kind of a domestic suspense going on in the background that involves Ella. And it just was very like a community study. So it wasn't even necessarily studying Ella that much, because I don't feel like I know her super well, but I feel like it was just kind of a community study. The plot was relatively unfocused, but again, if you have read Maeve Binchy and like her, I think you may like this one. If you haven't read her or don't really care for her, I don't think this one's going to win you over. So that's just kind of my thoughts. I don't know. I've got 2 more Maeve Binchys on my shelves. I think the Copper Beach and maybe Echoes or something. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not at home, so I can't look, but I've got 2 more, and I'm not sure if I'm going to read them or just get rid of them. I just am not sure Maeve Binchy's for me. I think she's kind of a 3-star author, and where her books are kind of just long and blah, 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 blah. And that's just me. I know some people love her, some people don't like her. It's just a personal preference. So I feel like I have spent a lot of this vlog saying not great things. Like The Wife Between Us was not, I mean, it was okay. The Homegoing, I DNF'd. And this one was just okay. Like, I'm very glad it's done, and I'm going to unhaul it. So I think I'm going to end this vlog here, or I'm going to definitely end it today. I think what I'm going to pick up next for my diverse read is The Lucky Man by Michael J. Fox. I love Michael J. Fox. And I have this book on my shelves, and it's, I think, his first. He's got that and then Always Looking Up. And my library has this, The Lucky Man on audio, so I really am excited. I think it's him that narrates it, I'm assuming, and so I really want to listen to that. It is a short, I think it's like a 5-hour audiobook, and I listen at 2.5 times speed, so I'll definitely probably finish that during nap time. So I don't know if I'll start part 2 of this by telling you about that, or if I will do all of today on one vlog. But if this is the last clip, then thank you for watching, and we'll see you in part 2. If it's not, I'll see you later today. Bye. Everyone, so obviously I decided to get back on and tell you about the Michael J. Fox book before I close out this vlog. And I'm on with a blue mouth because I just made a smoothie with frozen strawberries and blueberries, and it turned my mouth completely blue. So that's embarrassing. I wish I could make this clip black and white, but I can't. So just ignore my blue mouth. But I really liked it. I'm giving it 4 stars. I thought that it was a very candid, honest. There's a lot of talk of his faults and his alcoholism and kind of the fact that he wasn't a great dude before he came, like early when in his career, and before he really met his wife, he was kind of not the greatest dude. Kind of the fame went to his head a little bit. So the majority of this book, though, is about his being diagnosed with Parkinson's and then how to still live a life with this chronic disease. So this is counting for my diverse read because it does deal with a chronic illness and disability that he really had to figure out how to navigate. Like when you're in the public eye, and especially on a TV show or a movie, and you've got something that is physically obvious, that's incredibly hard to navigate, let alone how he was feeling, you know, with the different things internally that you couldn't see that he had to manage. So I really enjoyed hearing this story, and I was totally wrong totally wrong when I said earlier that he only has the 2 books. He does have quite a few different memoirs, I believe, all about different aspects of his life. I think most of them kind of are focusing just on his experience of living with a chronic disease. And I do not have any sort of chronic illness. And so it was just amazingly inspiring and eye-opening. I learned a lot about Parkinson's. My grandmother did get, my paternal grandmother did get Parkinson's, but it was at the end of her life. She had dementia and other things going on. And so this is incredibly scary and interesting because he got diagnosed when he was 30 and I'm 30 now, and just he said it started with his left pinky, just couldn't get it under control, and they don't know why. There was no genetic history of it in his family. There's some things to say that maybe environmental things, and he had said one of the jobs he worked on, quite a few people from that job have gotten Parkinson's, and he said he's very interested in that, not for the reason of he wants somebody to sue or he wants somebody to blame, but because there's really not a whole lot known about where Parkinson's comes from outside of like a genetic connection. So just very interesting. I think that his activism about it now is awesome, and he's almost 60 years old, so he's now lived like half of his life with this disease. I think he's like 58, so he's not quite 60, but close. And for him to be still doing well, I mean relatively well with this disease is just amazing, and I think the work he does is really amazing. So overall, I'm going to stop talking about it. 4 stars, very good. I have officially finished half of the challenges. So I got Most Intimidating with Quentin's. I got Blue on the Cover with The Wife Between Us. And I got Diverse with the Lucky Man by Michael J. Fox. So the 3 I have left are the shortest, which is Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown. Then I have Most Excited For and Recommended by Other People, and that is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I've got half the challenges done. It's about halfway through the week. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and you can just stay tuned for part 2. If you have watched this much so far, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please let me know, how is your Backlist Readathon going, or if you're not participating, what's your favorite Backlist book that you have read this year, if you've read any. I don't know. Just let me know something. So let's chat in the comments, and we'll talk to you later, and see you in part 2. Bye.